My fiancée had me sign a mutual freedom agreement. She called it a modern marriage clause, but it only benefited her. When I asked if I could see someone too, she laughed and said, "Let's be real. No one's lining up for you." I didn't reply. This morning, she's been texting me nonstop, 41 missed calls. Before we begin this story, I just want to ask for a small favor. Please subscribe to the channel. Lately, it's been tough watching it lose momentum, but your support truly means the world to me. Every subscription is a reminder that this work matters. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm Matt. I'm 34. I work in systems engineering. Basically, I fix things when companies break their own networks. It's not glamorous, but it pays well, and I get to work from home most days. Skylar, my fiancée, is 32. She's a dental office manager. Been at the same place for 5 years, runs the front desk, knows everyone in town who's ever needed a crown or a cleaning. She's social, organized, good at dealing with people, and way better than me at remembering birthdays. We've been together 3 years, engaged for 7 months. Things were good. We had our routines. Saturday mornings were grocery runs and errands. Sunday nights were takeout and a movie. We talked about buying a place together, maybe getting a dog after the wedding. We weren't perfect, but we were solid. So when she handed me a folder one night after dinner, I didn't think much of it. "I've been reading about this kind of thing online," she said. "It's what modern couples are doing now, like smart planning ahead of marriage. It's called a mutual freedom agreement." She said it like it was no big deal, just something smart people did now. I opened the folder. It wasn't a prenup. Not exactly. It was 5 pages of neatly written clauses, most of them worded vaguely enough to sound harmless if you skimmed. But I didn't skim. It gave her the freedom to explore outside connections if needed. Said her personal emotional space would always take priority over joint decisions. And there was a section about shared property and how certain contributions can't be measured financially and shouldn't be penalized if the relationship dissolves. In plain English, she could cheat and call it growth. If we broke up, she could keep whatever she wanted by saying it wasn't about the money. I was agreeing to all of it up front. I looked at her and said, "This feels one-sided." She smiled. "It's not about rules, it's just a mutual understanding. It's just symbolic." I told her I'd think about it. Truth is, I'd already made up my mind. I wasn't signing anything, not because I was scared to commit, but because I wasn't stupid. You don't hand your partner a paper like that unless you're planning something and don't want to deal with the fallout. After that night, things started to shift. She stopped asking me about my day. She started staying late at work, said the office was short-handed. She made more solo plans with friends, came home late, sometimes didn't answer texts until hours later. When I asked if everything was okay, she'd say, "You're being weird. I'm just tired." Then one night we were watching TV and I asked, casually, "If this agreement is really mutual, that means I could see other people too, right?" She didn't even hesitate. She laughed. Actually laughed. "Let's be real, Matt. No one's lining up for you." That's when something clicked. She didn't expect me to leave. She didn't expect me to push back. She thought I'd feel lucky to be with her, that I'd sit there, sign whatever she gave me, and stay quiet while she did whatever she wanted. She thought I was the safe bet. She was wrong. I didn't argue. I didn't respond. I just smiled, nodded, and said I was heading to bed early. And from that moment on, she had no idea what was coming. I didn't talk about the agreement again. Not once. Skylar assumed I'd moved on, that I was too passive or too soft to push back. She went back to normal like nothing had happened, except normal had changed. She started going out more. First, it was after-work drinks with coworkers. Then it was dinner plans that didn't include me. "Just decompressing," she'd say. "It's been so busy lately." I never stopped her. But I did start paying attention. The night she laughed and said, "No one's lining up for you," something shut off in me. Not emotionally, strategically. I knew exactly what I was dealing with. She didn't want a relationship. She wanted control. She wanted to feel like she had options while I stayed loyal, waiting for her to get bored. I didn't fight that. I planned around it. First thing I did was scan the entire mutual freedom agreement and send it to a legal contact, my cousin's wife, who specializes in contract law. She called me the next day. "This thing's not enforceable in any state. It's garbage, but it's very telling." That's all I needed to hear. Next, I went through all our joint accounts. We didn't have shared credit cards, thank God, but we did share a joint savings we were putting toward a down payment. I moved my half into a new account. Quietly. No drama. I also set up a second checking account she didn't know about and had my direct deposit rerouted. My old account? I left a small buffer in there for bills she'd recognize, but nothing she could sink her claws into. I updated all my passwords. Every single one. Cloud storage, email, utilities. Even my Netflix. Meanwhile, I let her play house. She was all smiles during dinner one night, talking about this new empowerment conference her office was paying for. Said she might stay the weekend and just decompress with the girls. She said it like it was nothing. Like I wasn't even part of the conversation. So I asked a single question, as casually as I could. Where are you staying? She blinked. Why? Just curious, I said. Need to know if I'm on dog walking duty that weekend. We don't have a dog. She looked annoyed for half a second. Hyatt something, I don't know. Emily booked it. I nodded. Cool. Then I went into our Wi-Fi router logs and found the devices that had been connecting to our network at night. A laptop that wasn't hers. A phone that had never been there before. Same MAC addresses every other Friday. She wasn't subtle, just assumed I was blind. So I printed everything, every weird bank charge, every calendar inconsistency, every hotel she maybe stayed at. I didn't confront her. I didn't try to fix us. She wasn't confused. She was confident I wouldn't do anything. So I started packing the version of my life that didn't include her. Next stop, my lawyer. When I walked into the lawyer's office, I didn't feel angry. I felt clear. I showed him everything, the agreement, the timeline, the financial logs. Told him I wasn't looking for a fight. I was looking for a clean exit. No scene, no mess, just a quiet removal from something I wasn't part of anymore. He looked through the agreement and laughed once. She wrote this herself? Her and a friend, I said. She manages a dental office. He shook his head. Well, I hope her friend's better at pulling teeth than writing contracts. He walked me through everything I needed to do to cover myself. Legally, financially, logistically. He helped me draw up a short, clean document that voided any informal agreements, confirmed the separation of finances, and officially ended our joint savings account. He also helped me add language making it clear that any attempt to frame this as a mutual decision would be disputed, with receipts. I didn't plan on using it, but I kept it ready. The week after that, I moved fast. I applied for a new apartment, just a one-bedroom on the other side of town, quiet building, short lease, paid the deposit in cash. I had my work laptop, some clothes, and a digital copy of everything that mattered. Everything else, she could keep. Then I started pulling away, not physically, just emotionally. I stopped asking where she was going, stopped checking in, stopped reminding her to bring home groceries. When she'd make sarcastic little comments about how I was always so chill or how I probably didn't notice she'd been out, I just nodded. She was testing me. Trying to provoke something, I gave her nothing. That Friday, she said she was staying over at Emily's after game night. I told her, cool, have fun. She didn't know I'd already scheduled movers for Sunday morning. Didn't know I'd already filed a notarized notice of address change. Didn't know the key she left under the flower pot wouldn't work anymore by Monday. On Saturday, she left her laptop open while she went to shower. A text popped up. You still good for Sunday night? Same hotel? I screenshotted it, sent it to my new email. That was the last thing I ever needed from her device. That night, while she was sleeping, I left the folder on her nightstand. It had 3 things. The unsigned mutual freedom agreement, with a sticky note that said, I thought about it. A certified letter voiding any informal contracts or shared assets. A printed receipt showing my portion of our savings transferred to a new account in my name only. I didn't write a goodbye letter. I didn't leave a tea, I just left. I moved out on a Sunday. She thought I was at the gym. She'd left around noon, said she was grabbing lunch with Emily. I waited until her car turned the corner, then brought the movers in. Didn't take much. I packed 1 suitcase of clothes, my tools, my work gear, and a few framed photos I actually cared about. Everything else? I let it sit. Furniture, plates, books, hers now, if she wanted them. She could tell whatever story she needed to about why I left. I wasn't sticking around to correct it. I left the folder on her side of the bed. Same spot where she dropped the mutual freedom agreement weeks earlier. Full circle. Then I locked the door behind me and left the key inside. She got home around 7. I know because the first call came in at 7:14 p.m., then another at 7:17, then a third at 7:19. By the time I turned my phone off at 10 p.m., I had 22 missed calls and 14 texts. I didn't read them. I poured a glass of whiskey, sat on the floor of my new apartment, and listened to nothing. No pacing footsteps, no passive-aggressive sighs, no long silences waiting for me to ask, "What's wrong?" Just quiet. When I woke up the next morning, I had 41 missed calls. And the texts, "Where are you? This isn't funny. You didn't even talk to me. You're being so immature right now. Matt, seriously, come home. We need to talk. What even is this? I trusted you." That one made me laugh. She trusted me. Meanwhile, I'd spent a month documenting how she was setting up an emotional safety net with someone else, just in case I didn't take the bait. Her tone shifted by noon. "You can't just disappear and make me look insane." I told my mom we were working through things. She's asking questions. "Are you really gonna leave everything over one piece of paper? If you don't respond, I'll come to your job." That last one almost made me text her. Not because I was scared, because it was pathetic. She wasn't sorry. She was embarrassed, panicking because the plan she thought she controlled had just collapsed without warning. I didn't block her. I just stopped looking. 3 weeks passed. She tried everything. Calls, texts, voicemails. I stopped counting after 60. Most of them weren't apologies. They were accusations wearing apology masks. "You blindsided me. I was trying to be honest. I thought you'd be more evolved." She even dropped a voice memo once, her crying, saying she was scared to be alone, and that she only suggested the agreement to test our strength. That line stuck with me. Test our strength. As if cheating plans and gaslighting were some kind of pop quiz. She never once said I was wrong. She never once said I knew what I was doing. Just kept orbiting the idea that I was the one who'd given up. Meanwhile, I was building a new life. Nothing flashy. Just quiet. Stable. I slept better, ate better, started running again. Realized how much energy I'd spent trying to anticipate her moods, her silence, her late arrivals, her weird offhanded comments meant to knock me down half an inch so she could feel taller. One night, she sent a long message, paragraphs. Said she'd been doing a lot of reflecting. Said she missed our connection. Said maybe we could restart from a place of honesty. I didn't reply. Instead, I sent back a single screenshot. Her text from that night on the couch. "Let's be real. No one's lining up for you." Below it, I added, "Good news. I'm not waiting in your line anymore." Then I muted the thread. Didn't even wait to see if she responded. Because silence doesn't always mean someone's hurt. Sometimes it just means they're finally done talking. What would you have done if someone gave you a freedom agreement like that before marriage? Would you have walked or signed and waited for the fallout? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious how others would have handled this.